You got a light on.
Okay. Welcome to Khan Academy. Ms. Mahanes and I have given this as a math homework assignment to many of your students. And we are here to show you kind of what it should look like and then how you could actually use it at home if you feel that your student needs to work on like times tables or things that aren't necessarily covered in class. Before we get started, let's go around. If you can tell us what grade your student is in, and then we can kind of work from there, because we kind of also want to answer, start with whatever questions you have.
We want to make sure we're directing what your needs are. Yes.
My son is 7th grade.
Okay.
Quay in the 8th grade.
Okay.
10.
7.
Okay.
10.
Okay.
8th.
7.
7.
8th, but I'm also interested for my junior at another school.
Great.
Lots of stuff for
And
all
seven.
the kids.
Okay. So Oliver. All right.
Through 7th through 10th is what I got.
Very good. Nice explanation. Thank you, Ms. Spence. And this is Ms. Spence, the Peanut Gallery. When we first were designing this, we weren't sure how many people, so we wanted to kind of know what things you all would like to see. Ms. Schaefer said she, to see for her other student. Are you here because your students have problems getting on at home, using it at home, or
Just curious about how it works.
Yeah.
What is Khan Academy?
Okay. Good.
I want
Okay.
I want to know how to motivate my child to use it.
Okay.
Candy.
It's hard. I mean, it's definitely better, we think, as they get older. That's what we've
It is.
discovered. Yes.
It is.
As they get older, what age?
7th is kind of at the young end. I mean, there's not a whole lot at the younger ages, but after algebra, I don't know about geometry because I'm not teaching it this year. There might be, but you can see there's pre-calculus, there's calculus, there's tons of science, there's biology, there's chemistry, there's physics. You could really use that as a tutor resource regularly with videos. There's problem solving, just to work on critical thinking skills. And he then breaks it out on how you can think through these problems in the videos. So,
Khan Academy is a man in California in a closet.
Virtually, I mean, he is.
Yeah, he is. So, and he's a genius. And so a lot of it is, very high level science, almost college, probably college level. I stumbled on a computer science tutorial where it actually teaches kids how to program. So, this is the homepage of Khan Academy. It's khanacademy.org. And so this is what the homepage looks like. And so you can see this is the things that he's kind of selling, pushing, whatever. And we'll show you how to access the deep, just the regular math stuff. We can share this presentation with you if you'd like. We were going to have y'all on computers, but I'm not sure. We might be able to try to do
I
that.
thought maybe y'all needed to help me getting on.
The major key as far as Ms. Mahanes and I, what we love about it is we can see, we can drill down, we can see when the students were on, how long they spent on it, how their results were, problem by problem, how long they spent on each problem and what problems they got wrong. And then we can go see what they did. But that only happens if they log in. Okay, so if you happen to be peeking over your student's shoulder and you don't see E. Schaefer, E. Crystal, B. Trevathan up here, they are not logged in. And all their work is not, they're not being saved. You can log in after, like if you go to Khan Academy and you go on and get started and you realize, whoops, I haven't logged in, you can click this unsaved user and it should log you in and save what you've done so far. So if you're peeking over their shoulder, you need to make sure that they're logged in. So what we have the kids do, okay, is if you click unsaved user there, what our goal was tonight was to have you all sign in, but you can do this at home if you want. That it can tie to a Gmail account that you have, and if you click Google, it will automatically, if you're already logged into Gmail, it automatically connects you to Khan. You can log in through Facebook, or you can choose a regular old email address.
Right now, I'm just blown away because the only way I've ever gotten to Khan Academy was going to YouTube.
No kidding.
Yeah, just YouTube, Khan Academy, blah, 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 but there's absolutely no login, there's no.
You just watch his
and
videos
you
on
just
YouTube.
choose- Right.
Okay, all right, well, cool.
Mr. Gooding has a question too, I think.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you were talking about how if they logged in, you could see all that they've been doing.
Yes.
I assume there's something they know about logging in so that everybody in the world can't see everything they're
Yes.
doing?
What we're gonna do is, and this presentation shows you how to, you make your own account, and then you'll have your student log in and make you their coach. We are already coaches for our students.
Okay.
But you make your account, and then Cameron will go in, and he'll put in your email address to make you his coach.
Mhm.
And then as his coach, you can go and you can see what he's done.
And you're the only person who can access it. So
Okay.
we're coaches of our students, so we can send them
So
what to
they
do.
already have accounts set up that your coach is on?
I don't teach Cameron this year. Do you have Cameron?
We haven't set one up yet, but it's something we're maybe we'll think about doing.
Okay.
We have not set one up yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so assuming you wanted to just do your own email address, assuming you didn't have, you would, you can just type a regular old, like you try.rr.com. You just type in your email address, your birth date, and click get started. And then that's your account, and that's how you'll log in. Again, the students, we have them going through Google. We usually have them going through Gmail to Haiku to the link we've set up, and then they're automatically logged in.
To repeat that, there is a link from the Haiku page.
We usually put a link on Haiku that will take them to the lessons we want them to do.
Just for the con. When I'm doing the other one, the new one, no. The, what's the name of it?
Magna.
The Magna one that I've moved to a little bit, that one doesn't have a link. So when I have con, there's a link, yes.
Okay. Now this is where you will be the student's coach. So when you have your student logged in, this would say C. Gooding. You click this and it would say view profile, and it takes you to the profile page. And I'll show you the real thing here in a minute. Down here is coaches. So we had all of our students do this during class one day, where they clicked coaches, and you get this coaches page. So this would be the student's name, and they would type in your email address, whatever you registered with at Con, and then you are now their coach. Okay, and I'll show you the real life thing, and that's the end. So, let's go to live Con. Okay, let me log out.
So you just go into khanacademy.org.
And usually it'll pull up, oops, and it's KHAN. Alright, I'm still logged in. Log out.
Can't get off.
Just okay. So, khanacademy.org. This is what it looks like when we first get started. Notice it says log in, sign up, and then donate. But click log in, and it pulls up this page. The students will go in through Google. If you sign up with a Gmail account, you'll go in through Google. If you want to go on Facebook, that's fine. Or you type the email address that you started with. The kids will go Google. Now, this is really important. If for some reason they're going straight into Khan Academy, because the students' logins are eCrystal@students.nobleknights.org. I don't know if y'all knew that. So it's not just Noble Knights, it's the first initial last name at students.nobleknights.org. Okay, but again, if you're already signed in through Gmail, it will automatically log you in. Of course not.
You can go with me.
No, it's just I hate my password, it's too long. Alright, we're gonna just go into Gmail. Do the same thing over again.
So the students is .com and yours is .org.
We're all .org. But they have students before
The actual word
The actual
students.
word.
It's at STUD and then .newellheims.org.
Oh.
So you have to add in, yeah, students.
Okay, so now I'm logged into Gmail. I'm going to Khan Academy. I click login, and it says log in with Google. And it says, do you want to allow Khan Academy to access your Gmail account? You say yes, allow. This is the only time you'll see it. Following that, it won't. So now I'm logged in as a Stichter. So now as a student, again, we would either give you a link that the student would click the link and it would take them directly to the lesson, or we would tell them to go for equations of parallel and perpendicular. Okay, so now in Khan Academy, he'll have a topic and videos and then exercises. We haven't found that the videos are terribly helpful. Students can't really understand what he's saying, and sometimes he doesn't do it the way we would have them do it. So we don't normally do videos. So when they type in something to do, you want them to do exercises. And it takes them directly to the exercise. So this is where the little reward system comes in, and I don't know if but they'll get these leaves completed, and then they'll get stacks of things, and you can actually have the students set up goals for themselves. We haven't actually done that yet. But it says, what do the following two equations represent? And it's asking equivalent, parallel, perpendicular, or none of the above. And I'm going to just guess and say parallel. Check answer. I can see that.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Now, one thing Miss Mahanes wanted me to make sure you knew about is there's a scratch board on here that, so
I like the hints too. It will walk them through the problem if they don't know the steps. So you can keep hitting hint, 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 and that will just train them to do the steps.
It won't eventually give them the answer.
Yeah.
It'll take them all the way to the answer, but they're learning the steps that way. So if we're not there and you're not there and they're trying to figure this thing out, it will just say the next step. And so they can learn the process to how to solve the problem.
Does it show you that when you are their coach that they've got hints?
No.
No.
Well, they would probably go on there that they're
think it-
struggling. We
Oh,
get like
yeah.
if they're struggling, have mastered it, things
Right.
like that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it tells that these have the same slope, so these are parallel lines. Let me see if I can get to one that
So
has.
as a coach, signed in coach, can you see that they're
All right,
struggling?
I'll
that
show
they
you what you
can't-
can see as
Yes.
a
I
coach.
mean, if the parent signed up.
Yeah, so you could set up one, and then he would come on in, and you would say, okay, this is what I want you to work on tonight. Not that he needs more, but if you did, you could just say, you know, whatever you wanted, adding fractions. You could go in there and just have him work on it, like we say, like 15 minutes. We don't make it to where they've mastered it, but 15 minutes, and then we go in and see, oh, well, they're struggling. We need to stay working on this for a while. Or, oh, look at this, they started but didn't finish, so they're doing okay. You know, they just might be a little bit slower worker. So things like that.
So here's what we look at the day after to see, and you can see I had a student that was on today for 5 whole minutes. And let's see, is it the practice report?
Yes.
Okay, so this is 1-digit addition. So, this one I think he was a proficient because he did something else.
Yeah, they like to go into 1-digit addition. That's their first choice.
They do. 4 minutes.
No,
2 minutes.
But I think that what
about a
we can,
minute.
if anybody's child's not logged in, it's not in one of our classes, and you want your child to start utilizing it, we can definitely get them set up and, you know, tell you what to do. And y'all could be the coach, or you can talk to their math teacher to make sure it's complementing what they're working on in their class.
Okay, so here's an example of a student who is doing multiplication with carrying. And so you can see kind of how she was kind of struggling. And it does say hint. It said hint use.
Oh, it did say it, okay.
So here's the problem. And So here's the scratch pad, so you can actually, they can,
For the ones who
They'll
hate
work
to
it out.
write and don't wanna give you all their details, they can do it right there.
they can work it out, and this is where she hit the first hint after 2 seconds. So, and then the second hint, and then she got it, but she didn't get it right. So, let's see, 56, 5, 54, that's explaining how to do it correctly. That's not her answer. Anyhow, so we can put the presentation up so you guys can get on, and then, the key is then that the student logs on, enters your email address to be a coach, and then you can see what they do. One other thing I wanted to show you, instead of looking for,
6:30 and time for session 4.
yeah,
can't
missed
leave.
yet.
Sorry.
If you click practice, it's got this constellation, and this is kind of,
Do you have a session?
I'm recording yours.
Okay. I get it done.
We've got it, Mr. Miller. So this, if you wanted them to work on multiplication and division, you can click this, and it zooms into topic by topic, different topics. Okay, y'all can go if you want to, I was kidding, but you weren't dismissed. But, so it breaks it down into, multiplying and dividing negative numbers, and then you go into properties, distributive property, and it goes over here. So, recognizing fractions. So it really kind of breaks it down into the nitty-gritty steps that they.
And what works best, we've determined, is really the review type things, the background material that they need to go forward. Because working alone on this with a new concept may be very difficult. But if we're just going to say, oh, they need to practice their fractions a little bit more, let's stick these up here and have them work on fractions tonight. And so that if you see your child like comes in with a math test and they're missing some of the background stuff that they needed, this is a great way to sharpen up those skills and start working on them again.
Okay. Email us with any questions.